Shelby has reintroduced the GT500 KR. We're going to talk about interior and exterior modifications, performance modifications, and how much it's going to cost you. Welcome to Automotive Antics. I'm Kevin, and I am super excited to be talking about the GT500 KR. Every generation GT500 seems to get one. The last one we had was 2008-2009 model. It did get a 40 horsepower bump over the base model GT500, but this one gets an even more significant power increase. So we're going to talk about that. But first, let's take a look at it. This is a gorgeous looking car. It's aggressive looking. It just has so much more presence than even the base GT500. And I thought that had an immense presence on the road. You can see right away you have bigger wheels and tires. They stand out first to me. You can get them in both polished or gloss black, and it just gives it a much wider look, a more aggressive stance. But then we have that incredible hood. You got these center vents like you do on the base GT500, but the hood is shaped a little differently, and you have vents on either side of the larger center vent. So you have two smaller vents on each side, giving more heat extraction abilities, cooling that engine down a little bit more. And Shelby does say it does drastically decrease the chances of heat soak. So these are functional vents, although they do look amazing, they are functional. And then you do also have the push style hood pins on the front that Shelby likes to use. I think they're great. Reason for those are this whole hood is carbon fiber, so it's extremely lightweight. So hood pins are probably a good idea. The last thing you want to do is have that lightweight hood flying up on you, damaging the car, losing the hood, etc., etc. Hood pins are a great idea, and I love those push style pins. Now, it may be a small subtle change, but if you look, the front splitter is also larger and carbon fiber. That's obviously going to help with some front end downforce. The carbon fiber does continue with the rear gurney flap and rear diffuser. Now I want to go back to the wheels for just a second and give you some more detail on it, because they are 20 by 11 up front and 20 by 11 and a half in the rear. Again, polished or gloss black finish. It's up to you. And it does say they come with performance spec tires. It does not say anything other than that. But if we're looking at one of these pictures, you can definitely see it is a Michelin tire, and it looks to be a 4S to me. Again, I can't read it. It's very small and hard to really see the details on the tire, but it looks as if it's a Michelin Pilot 4S. That would make the most sense to me. I don't know that they would put a Cup 2 tire on it, but maybe they did. I'm not sure. Now, I don't have interior pictures of the KR, but they do list interior modifications, which consist of leather seat covers, Shelby rocker stripes, and embroidered floor mats. Now, there are some other things listed on the exterior interior list, such as a hood strut system, billet engine caps, and water managed rain trays. Now let's get into the performance aspect of things, because this is what's really going to set this KR apart. And that is the fact that you're getting 900 crank horsepower. Now, this does say 900 plus. So we're going to guesstimate that this could be a little bit higher than 900 flywheel horsepower as it's listed here. And the main source of that power is going to be a new 3.8 liter Whipple supercharger. Comes standard in a black finish, but there is an option for a polished finish if you want. You're also going to get a high volume supercharger intercooler, high volume supercharger heat exchanger, and an open cold air intake system. Other modifications are also going to include a Shelby Bi-Borla catback exhaust system, which I'm sure sounds amazing because even the stock GT500 sounds awesome. Performance half shafts, ride height adjustable front and rear springs, Ford Performance front and rear sway bars, Magna Ride calibration, caster camber plates, and extended and hardened wheel studs to go with those 20-inch wheels. So along with a lot more horsepower, it sounds like we're also going to get a better handling car overall with the thicker sway bars and the recalibrated Magna Ride system and a handful of other goodies. Caster camber plates for one. I mean, it just sounds like this is just going to be such an amazing car. Now we do have a handful of options to go with this as well, one of which being a Le Mans style over-the-top stripe kit, painted stripes, the polished supercharger that I mentioned earlier, rear seat delete with a harness bar, and you can even get a Shelby wide body kit. Now Shelby doesn't list prices for these options. I wish I could give you an idea what that would cost. Frankly, the wide body kit would probably be pretty cool. That would probably cost you an arm and a leg though. Now I did forget to mention a couple things about that supercharger, that is also going to get a larger throttle body. I figured that probably should be obvious. It's going to get a whole new updated pulley system and will still run on 93 octane. You can get a 91 octane tune if you do not live in an area that offers 93, but Shelby does state that the horsepower numbers could vary. Now the big question is, how much is all of this going to cost you? Well, first you're going to need your base GT500, which MSRP will set you back at about $72,900 if you're not paying a markup. Then you'll have to send that base model GT500 out to Shelby American and order the KR package from them to have put on, and that KR package is going to set you back $54,995 for an all-in price of $127,895. Now that sounds pretty steep, but taking the few things into consideration here, 127, we're going to round up $128,000. That is a pretty pricey tag, but with the way that the automotive market is at the current time, it's not a bad price. We're looking at 2019 Corvette ZR1s that are pushing over $200,000 or pretty close to $200,000. This is going to give you more horsepower than that and potentially just as good handling. Now, I don't want to say better because I don't know. The ZR1 handles amazingly, but the KR, they're doing a lot of suspension work to go along with all that extra horsepower. So $128,000 sounds like a lot, but for what you're getting, it's not bad at all. Now that Shelby is going to start taking orders for the KR February 1st of 2022. Now this will be for all owners of 2020 and 2021 model GT500s. They are going to accept orders for the 2022 model, and if you do get that in, you'll be able to get the 60th anniversary badge on that car. Now, that's not the 60th anniversary of the KR. It is the 60th anniversary of Shelby American. So if you want that little bit extra spice to make your car that much more special, the 2022 model year will get that 60th anniversary badge. So let me know down below your thoughts on the new KR, King of the Road GT500. Absolutely amazing. I think it's a great bang for your buck. I know $128,000 sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but you're getting a lot of car for your money. Let me know what your thoughts are. How would you spec it out if you had the money to order one, or maybe you do? I want to know what your thoughts are on how you would order it. Colors, specs, wheel colors, you know how it goes. Leave it down there. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out and that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you in the next upload.